All right, thanks for staying with us. Women's advancement in the workplace has taken significant strides in the past 50 years. Research demonstrates, however, that despite an increased presence of female employees in mid-management positions, executive positions across the globe continue to be dominated by men. Now, by presenting the current presence of female in management positions, with comparison to housewives of the 1960s, media and cultural references assume and celebrate that women have achieved equity when they have not. Now, this contradiction between perceived equality and ongoing statistical inequality creates confusion, despite optimistic views that women have broken through barriers to senior positions. They are, in fact, still underrepresented in governance, in directorship, and executive leadership. Now, can gender, right, be a barrier to a woman's advancement, whether in the workplace, in governance, in whatever? Can gender be a barrier to a woman's advancement? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-8038-4663. You can also tweet at us at WayShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. Before we go further, I just want to take comments quickly. I don't know who this person is, but the person goes, okay, the person didn't put their name. Hi, Uwa. We should apply the same energy we're using to get justice for Bamishe to also clamor for justice for the late Ataga killed by Chidinma. Bamishe's case is sad, but when things like this happen to men, it is treated with kid gloves. Chidinma is now a celebrity, laughing at cameras on her court appearance days, and Ataga is forgotten about. Happy International Women's Day. Unfortunately, I do not know your name. So I really do not like when we bring up issues and we start to mix issues, right? Most times, this is what we get all the time when we're talking about certain issues, certain plights that women go through. And all of a sudden, we start to say, you did it when a man this, when a man that. I'm not here to mix issues to say, let us compare men. I also have boys. Trust me, I am fighting the cause of a boy, right? Because I know how important it is. But when we're discussing something of this magnitude, it would be nice to just stick to what the conversation is, right? Another time will come where a conversation that would come around the Ataga man and it will be raised. Let's stop mixing issues. Don't compare issues, because this just waters down the struggle and the pain of the mother that is going through now, of the event that is happening. That girl did not call to be mutilated and killed. She didn't call for it. Ataga and Chidinma, it is only two of them that know what went down between them, right? It's two different issues. If you look at the circumstances around the demise of both, two different issues, please. I just wanted to put this out there. Do you have anything to say on that? So,
I mean, we celebrate, you just like, okay, today is the national day to celebrate women all over the world. Nobody is saying that we're not acknowledging other men, or sorry, we're not acknowledging men or, the issues that have happened to them. But this day, we want to talk about women. We want to put lights on women and also address issues that affect women directly. So, I mean, you're actually right, pointing out that, when this issue came out, it was being talked about, and I'm sure it's actually still in court. But today we're talking about women, so I think we should stick to that and not move around.
So, for me,
yeah, go ahead.
For me, I see a bit of insensitivity in the remark where you're trying to digress from the conversation at hand. The concern that I have with Nigerians is we lack consistency. This case has made it to social media space. It's only a matter of time before everybody carry on as business as usual. Yeah. Just the way it's right to mention the case of that man and his lover that later led to his death. But the concern I have is we do not push things through till the end. It's only in this country the best a story would get is 2 weeks.
Yes.
Max. No matter how much you trend, no matter the severity of the event. Of
the case, yes.
It would only trend for all of 2 weeks. People are already looking for next entertaining story, the next thing to jump on, the next thing to give an opinion on, the next challenge and the next song to trend to. And it really makes people understand that they can get away with murder in a country where we're not thorough enough to really carry out things and ensure that justice is served. Be it for the man that was murdered by his lover, be it for this young lady that died just by living a life. I mean, it could have been anybody. It's worrisome to realize that you can step out and get into a public transport and then you just lose your life. Because a country like Nigeria is where you find yourself. We should look at ways to carry this thing down and ensure that it doesn't just trend temporarily on social media platforms. This event actually has sustained till it is drawn, till the final conclusion has been drawn. That for me is the crux of the matter. Whether you're trying to bring up a past event or not, every matter gets swept through under the carpet.
All right, so let's go back to the conversation. Can gender be a barrier to a woman's advancement? You know, Norma, let me come to you because I've not heard you in a minute. Do you think so?
In different ways, yes. Gender has been a topic of conversation and discussion over time. I mean, we can't even, over hundreds of years, it has been a battle of the sexes. Let me put it that way. And it has always limited, especially from the perspective of women, because from time immemorial, people have seen the woman to be the weaker vessel. No matter what level of strength she brings to the table, no matter what level of multitasking, and in that regard, she's not seen to be weak. But when it comes to decision making, when it comes to leadership roles, when it comes to really key areas in life, that's when she's seen as a weaker vessel, or that's when she's seen as the woman. And this has been the narrative that has been driven across cultures, across races, across generations, right? From one generation to the other, people are the unwritten code is handed over down in generations. So like, I think it was Milola or Lera that mentioned, you get to a certain level of management or authority, or a certain level in your interviews, and then the conversation about, are you married? Are you single? Do you have children? You know, all of those things begin to come to the table. So it's a long age-old battle that has been going on for a while, and it will take women, again, in my opinion, to change the narrative. I think a lot of women also focus on what is not working than focusing on what should work.
I think it was Norma. I think it was Milola that, because I wanted to quote you when you said it will take women. I believe that, you know, because this question is, can gender be a barrier to a woman's advancement? I believe that this card of gender, I think it is more really that narrative that can be changed, can only be changed when women are ready for it to be changed. And I'll say why. So you made a statement about you going in for a position, and it seems like, oh, how dare you, and all of that. Same thing with the female presidential candidate that is coming out to say she wants to run for presidency. How dare you, and all of that, because she's a woman. So I was opportune to be at a small workshop where they had a group of business women. Let me bring it back to business. And the woman kept on saying that every time you approach an investor, for instance, you tell the investor, when you put a man in front of the investor, the man says, I need $1 billion with a straight face. The man has no clue how he's going to run that $1 billion dollars. He does not know jack. But the man has the boldness to approach it and say, I need $1 billion for my business. That put a woman in the same room where the same opportunities are. Sure. The woman will say, if you can just give me $5,000, $10,000, I'll be okay. That you know that countless times she'll put her head on her on
the
her
table,
hand, like he
like,
would just go like this. Oh,
but
wow.
why?
The woman just messed it up because that investor was ready to give her that $1 billion. So why I stopped you, Norma, when you say women are the ones to change this narrative, are we not the ones shooting ourselves in the foot that we have been doing over the years? Because every time we think that maybe this narrative, maybe it's a man, we are the ones that have limited ourselves. No, that's what I'm saying. I want you to go to that side, because you know
it's important that women change the narrative, because we are the ones that have been even selling it unconsciously.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I was about to say, based on what you just said about the woman, so she's saying that she shouldn't be timid. She has to change the narrative. Own up to the. If you're here and you're asking for money, ask for what you want to ask for, and don't be afraid of what they're going to say. You're just going to shoot your shot.
That imposter syndrome must die. We are the ones that is killing ourselves.
A lot of times we do not even understand the power that we possess. And I want to believe that it's a certain conditioning or programming over time that has actually made women to begin to think, even when they want to rise. There's always this subconscious thoughts that a man is, you know, if a man is not in the picture, it does not complete you as a person. Women need to know that they are powerful individuals. The same way men are powerful individuals in their own different and unique way. Absolutely. It's the same way women are powerful in their own way. They are enterprising. They are superhumans, if you may say that. And they need to be conscious, and not only be conscious, they need to be intentional about the way they show. And that's in line with what you were trying to say. Show up as the person that you are.
I'm sure that you deserve
that
to be
you
there.
have the qualities. Because a lot of focus is more on gender equality, you know, women, they're not giving us the opportunity. If they give you that opportunity, what are you going to do with it?
You know what, on that note, let's go on a very short break. We'll come back because we need to open our phone lines. Let them not accuse me today again. Stay with us, we'll be right back. All right, thanks for staying with us. If you just tuned in, we're asking, can women, can gender be a barrier, for a woman's advancement? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. Our phone line is now open. You know the rules. Turn off the volume of your television set so we can hear ourselves. The number to call is 07025007749. All right, ladies. Let me come to you, Milola. You know, career advancement.
Without a doubt, gender in this women's opportunity to advance. First of all, we have to say it as it is, and then we then say, okay, what can we do to change that narrative? Without a doubt, being a woman brings limitation to how far we can go. Now, for me, I have a anchor, something I anchor on is the faith, my spiritual path. And when I did some findings, I realized that we need to understand why are we the way we are. Because it's cut across. Most women operate and behave in similar pattern and ways, just the women do the same. So it goes down to the foundation of us, because if the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? A woman is wired, conditioned, and programmed to be inwardly directed. Men, on the other hand, project outwardly. That's why women are more about security, are more about stability, are more about sustainability, whereas a man just wants to keep going. So when you find a woman choleric, then she's considered odd, she's considered out of character, because that role and that trait is predominantly known for men. Now, if you understand that's how we are wired and how we are conditioned, then you start to wonder, okay, what can we do differently? It is one thing for women to self-sabotage as an individual. It's another thing for us to sabotage one another as women. If you are ever going to have any progression or any advancement, it's not because one woman is lifting up another woman. Please, we need to establish that. Women are women's enemies. I'm sorry it's on national TV, but it is what it is. If you're ever going to get farther in life, it's because a man believes in you and wants to give you a lift.
Right.
Oftentimes, and I speak from experience, even in my recent journey, we have encountered women whom I expect to say, I will carry you matter on my head. And sometimes they say it with their lips, but they
their heart
can
is
never
far.
back it up with action. And you wonder why, because there's still the female wound that drives all of us, that is responsible for how we function and how we behave. There's still that timidity, that sense of insecurity, that sense of how dare I project. And then you find people project on you the limitations they see for themselves. They are not able to get up and do it, and they do not expect you to ever dare raise your hand and say you want to do what they don't see themselves being able to do.
Let me take a caller.
Oh, we have a call.
Yes, he's been holding. We're so sorry. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, this is Loma from
Yes, Loma from Abia State. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. So I don't think that so that can be over there. One, if our women understand who they are in the society, because women, without them, I'm telling you, the society is not complete. So, but sometimes inferiority complex always make them to think that because they are women, they cannot go, they cannot advance or be at the helm of their place. But if you look at the world today, you will see, just like in those of 21, she's not a woman. You go to other places, you see presidents being women. So, but the only thing is that believe in yourself, understand that in this world of today, that nobody look down on you. Nobody should even talk down on you, because God has made you to be a special species. So I'm using this opportunity to tell our women, even our beautiful ladies that are there, that gender can never and will never be a barrier for women advancing. Thank you very much.
Thank you
So much for weighing in and encouraging us.
Yes,
like that.
this is really helpful, because I mean, what he's saying isn't wrong, because there are so many women out there that do not know what their worth is, and if only you can look into the mirror and be 100% self-aware of your skills, the things that you can bring to the table. You might think you might not have things to bring to the table, but look inward.
So that's where I am saying that conversations around us maybe waiting for a handout, going to go and fight for this bill to be given and all of that, there has to be a special preference for women. If we see that those things are not working, because culturally, right, the way the culture is structured around here, you know, a man subconsciously, I mean, Uti did a riddle on live television and I embarrassed my entire clan yesterday and how myself and Manny completely failed woefully. How we have been hardwired to think that
somebody holds.
Do you understand? Everything is around a man. So it is something that now, once we get to that consciousness, that awareness, right? How do we start to move away from that? Because the truth is, if we keep saying we want to go and fight for these bills for female preference and all of that, it might never happen. Because the man that is already thinking that don't I have like you in my house and all of that. You know what? Let me take a call. Youngest old man, thank you for calling.
Yes, you're welcome. When I don't expect me with your program. I think I just take I just find guest TV where I go see what you have.
Oh, thank you for calling.
Yeah, I'm in the north, so seeing a lot.
Well,
about women, I have to be. I heard what the other caller said. It's quite encouraging, but the truth is still the truth. In a woman's life, there is stages. Seriously, no matter how you want to make it happen, when you come to that stage of getting married and still conceiving and trying to build a family, some things do stop. No matter how fierce you want it to be. I always remember my uncle in those days. He was saying that as a married woman, your business starts by 12 and close by 4. And when you come to the Balogu market by 12,
most of the fast guys will have finished making their business because you have to take care of the children, drop them in school, back then, they're rushing. So all these things in a woman's life, there is stage. However, if she has that energy, she can time her life per stage, she will do well on that stage and go. Like the big women that we are hearing, some of them are past a certain stage. They are not in the begetting stage. They are through with the baby thing. They focus on their career and they are doing well. But you see a woman of today, she wants to take care of her baby. She wants to grow her career. She wants to be a good mother at the same time. So some things have stage. You have to drop one to face one. But when you want to put everything together, as a human being, you have limits. Thank you very much till I come back to Lagos.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
You
much.
touched right on we women understanding priorities and learning to set them, understanding that you cannot juggle every ball at the same time. But because women have biological clock, quote and unquote, we find ourselves trying to catch up, trying to do all that we're supposed, all that we feel. One thing that people don't understand though for me is, I say life is about role playing. And if you understand that you're constantly playing a role at every point in time, you can understand the script, you can know when to shift, you can know when to change your role. There's a role you play as a mother that you can run concurrently with running a career, depending on what age your children are. But do you then give up a part of your life just because you want to raise the best of children? You're going to grow up and look at those children and feel like you gave them everything. And that's why some of our mothers are really disgruntled and they feel entitled. I gave my life up for you.
Yes.
How dare you not take care of me the way I should be taken care of? And we really should never expect another human being to take up her own burden just because we gave up on ourselves at a particular time based on societal expectation. And that's why women like myself will constantly have to deal with a lot of attack, a lot of judgment. You should learn to be content. I mean, I had issues with men because it looks as if I am never contented. And I say every time in my life, I am full, I am grateful, I'm satisfied, but I believe there's a place called more that I'm gone in for. And if I fulfill the role in one capacity and I choose to take up another responsibility, it's not because I am not content being a mother and being a wife.
The sad thing,
it's just because I want to be more.
The sad thing that some men do not understand, when we are at that point of dissatisfaction, it's because we believe deep down inside of us that we can actually do much more than where
what
we
we're
are.
doing. Yes.
Do you understand? So regardless of whether you are there in the picture or not, if I were to, do you understand?
Yeah.
There's a yearning.
So when you are with a woman that is really, really driven, you need to understand that it's a strength for you because that woman will continue to push you to get to the next level, the next level, right? But a lot of times they not say,
unfortunately, some people see it as overambition. And if I may borrow a little bit from what Loma said, while I understand that there are stages in life, I want to also understand that it applies across board.
Yes.
It is not because you're a woman that there are stages for you. But for a man,
he's allowed to roam
as
freely.
in he can go to whatever extent. For each individual, if you know that, they say, was it Plato or who said, man know thyself. Woman know thyself. Know your capacity. Know what you can do. Know where your strengths are. And then don't let anybody underestimate your power.
Sure.
Because that's another narrative. When you focus on the fact that, because she's a woman and by programming, she's supposed to, there's a time for her to have children. There's a time, and like you said, biological clock, right?
Yes.
So your time is almost over. What of a situation where she's young, she has potential, but take, for example, the man doesn't come and the children do not come. So she has to wait until that happens in her life before she will now do what she needs to do and then now begin that stage where she has a career.
Let's take some comments.
I was going to say that narrative has lingered for too long. And I mean, so I have a comment.
That's why your generation, they are rebels.
Like we
A
are
lot of young
restless.
people now, because that is the ripple effect. A lot
are
of young people are saying
restless.
they're not interested in marriage because it seems like
it's going to
limit me, and it shouldn't be.
Imagine a lady that is 37, 38. She's a director in a very big company and she's doing well. She's successful. And then next to her is she's not married.
That's why she's not married.
She doesn't have
She's not-
kids.
yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what does that have to do with anything? She has, let's... we have a comment. We have a comment from BC. Good evening, ladies. Happy International Women's Day. Gender can be a barrier to a woman's advancement most times when you allow it. I remember growing up, and my father believed a child, whether male or female, are to be treated the same. This has helped me as a girl child to know that I can achieve whatever I set my mind on. I need to work hard as men, not waiting to be favored because I am a woman. Once a woman is self-empowered, groomed to be confident, your husband or male colleagues will give you the respect you deserve. Politically, women should be bold to declare their achievements, not hiding under a man to speak for you. A few days ago, a friend told me her daughter needed to process her passport and was told to get a guarantor, a man. My friend is a widow who is hardworking and owns properties, but was stopped by signing for her daughter because she's a woman. I encourage women and young girls to build their career endeavors, endure temporary pains, and stand for their rights. 2023 can make a difference if we are tired of dancing during political
You see that dance there?
I'm going to say it again. She said 2023 can make a difference. If we are tired of dancing during political rallies, we need to vote and be voted for.
Thank you.
You know, that political
That's a
rally matter,
fantastic one from
I just,
BC.
I was saying to someone yesterday, I said, you see all these policies that they are saying that they are throwing out and all of that. All women need to do is say that we are
not
going on
dancing
strike.
again.
No, it's true. We're not supporting, we are going on. Let us see who truly
who
wields
is
the power.
really?
Who is
And
ruling?
number two, I said something. I said one of the things I think a lot of women need to start to do now is support other women business-wise. If we grow ourselves economically,
capital, yeah.
we build economic power. Imagine you employing 10,000 people, you employing 20,000 staff, she employs 30,000 staff, and we tell the person in our local government chair, so you are the local government man that threw out our bill, Abi, we are not voting for you, and my entire
team.
staff. What then happens?
Like a game of numbers.
Do you understand? It's a game of numbers. So you need to build
so many.
economically. So that's why I'm saying that, yes, even though gender can be a barrier, but if we understand the strength that we possess as women, we will no longer see that barrier, right? That bias we will break, we will shatter, we will destroy everything because we have taken ourselves to a whole new level that we are seeing the world, from a heightened level. So now we are the ones determining what is the next move in the country, not the other way around, because that is truly where our strength lies. But let's take more
It
comments.
begins with us. I agree.
I have a comment from Bobby Kennedy in Jalingo, and he has this to say. The leaders of our country and the NAS members should be ashamed of themselves by not passing the Women Right Bill to work. Nigerian women are making waves around the globe more than the men. Take note, I said. Ngozi Iweala, Aminat Mohammed, UN, a case study. Without the women, there is no universe. So amazing how this world was made. I wonder if God is a woman.
Oh, she is.
God bless you,
we have our
women.
favorite-
Thank you, Bobby
our
Kennedy.
favorite person.
And that's a man weighing in and really rooting. One thing I know, we have to give it to the men. Men root for women. Women don't root for women enough.
At all.
That's what I was going to say. No, women
At all.
women are supporting women
But
now.
more women need to
But I
do.
mean,
Don't go.
see,
When we organize, please. I am a living witness.
I'm
And I
also
don't
a
want to.
living
I
witness
don't
of
want to
women
come
that have supported.
on national
I'm
TV.
saying that. Let's not
shake a table.
generalize.
We do
It's not-
organize events,
and
we do say we do so many things, but do we push it through to the end? Do we really carry women on our head?
So let me say,
and
that's
feel
why
comfortable
Milola-
to let another woman shine, and you watch her shine.
Milola,
Only
that's
men.
why
but we have women.
Let's take more comments before we run.
Let me take this one.
This our conversation needs more time.
You need more time.
Today should be 2
It's
hours.
from Daniel, and it says, "Good evening, my dear beautiful sisters of What Are You Saying Ways."
Thank you.
Sister Damilola and Sister Nova, you're welcome back. It's been a while. Concerning the importance and value of women, I still think that women should be given a chance to voice out and express their views. At least God didn't create men alone. Women are also important and very vital. My heart goes out to the family of late Oluwabamishe and the family of the 3-year-old baby that died in a crèche. Women may even have the solution to Nigeria's problems.
We do, not me.
Sister Alera and Sister Owa. Okay, one love. One
love.
love from your regular fan, Daniel Ilo. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much,
I just
Daniel.
salute to what Daniel was saying. I mean, it's important that there's a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, and she said that no one has a right to make you feel less of yourself without your permission. So it still goes back to the woman being able to discover herself, understand herself, empower herself, embrace herself, and embrace her fellow sisters. The more we continue to embrace her, the more powerful, the more that voice that he was saying, he was talking about, can be louder, can be heard. And people will know. It's not about fighting a defensive battle. It's about
Standing for ourselves
on the offensive, being ready and prepared, and continuing to push that boundary. Before you know it, people will pay attention.
Absolutely. So on the case of the girl that was killed on the transit from Chevron in a BRT bus, the driver is the main suspect. He should be drilled. In other climes, such buses should have CCTV cameras. For God's sake. Now, there is no way a bus will move from Chevron with just one passenger without another person coming on board. It's just a sad situation in our country, and we have to be very careful. Happy Women's Day.
They
That's
even
also
put off the
Republican.
light at some point.
Yes, at some point, yeah. So, I mean, this is just the beginning of the conversation, and like, I think we've been able to achieve the goal that this conversation, because it's not so much, and I like that quote you took by Eleanor Roosevelt, it's not so much about somebody else, right? We need to start looking inwards as women. And Milola, that's why I'm saying that, again, empowerment is required. Financial freedom is required. See, if a woman is thinking and she's thinking, oh, where do I get money from? The first thought that comes to her head is, oh, it's either my husband or something. We need to move away from those conversations where we start having more billionaires as women, because if we have more women financially empowered, I'll just say, Malola, how much do you need for your campaign?
You just bankroll it.
I'll just bankroll it.
Sign me a check.
And I will not tell you, yes, now I will not tell you to come and let me have sex with you or something. Those are the things that, so that's what I'm saying,
to having godmothers and not just godfathers.
Do you understand? We cannot continue. So what we are saying is that for the women that have gone ahead, in terms of careers, your CEOs, your top directors, pull more women more. We need more women, because politics is not just game of numbers, it's also a financial game. If a woman is empowered financially, she can support as many female candidates as possible. We need that pool to come together.
But the women have to be ready.
Oh yes, we have to be ready.
I
think we're getting there.
Also need to be pulled.
Yeah, we are getting there.
Also have to be ready.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, ladies. I think we've had a fantastic conversation. Thank you, Norma. Thank you, Alera. And thank you, Milola. All right, so if you missed, before we go, ensure you follow us on Instagram. Yeah. Follow us on Instagram. So at PlusTvAfrica, one with the hashtag PlusTvAfrica. You can also interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements online. Remember to like, share, invite your family and friends. See Bobby Kennedy, he got to Taraba. No, not Bobby Kennedy. Loma. He's from Lagos. And he went to search us in Niger State to watch. So if you missed today's quote, here it is again. My experiences with gender bias are probably the norm. What I found was the expectations of women were simply lower, and this resulted in being overlooked for certain opportunities. Women, you need to up your game.
Step it up.
Step up your expectations and increase your standards. We'll see you guys tomorrow live at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.